whatever you do, don't let it fall into the wrong hands.
I shall do a quick recap because that seems appropriate. You have been on this icy plane, or perhaps icy area of your previous plane for quite a while, dealing with the Intiants previously in the facility that you arrived in, a sort of knick-knack storage room. You then introduced yourself after mauling them briefly as a dinosaur, Milksteak. Introduced yourselves as being part of the Many Things Incorporated One-Eyed Jacks program. Detailed the fact that you had been on a raid of the Clockwork People's civilization when your outpost was attacked back at Many Things Incorporated, so you came back to find all your Intient employers missing. You then discovered in the rubble a device that transported you via portal to a very rude and self-referential underground labyrinth where you navigated a series of characters and encounters that ended with you holding a figurine that seems to give you greater intelligence, as a character called Rick seems to still lie somewhere within the Rickarine. And from there, you left the facility after, causing some havoc while everyone else was sleeping in this Many Things Incorporated facility. You quickly escaped, met up with some other Intiants that appeared to be children, and they were being pursued by the designer, their unfortunate caretaker that you dispatched with, although he did manage to escape. You then discovered that there was a rift nearby that seemed to lead to this huge expanse of space, and all kinds of random items occasionally fall their way through this rift, some of which you've collected. Sometimes they result in enormous suburban houses being constructed by these children Intiants that are using it as a kind of runaway from home plan. You then met up with a series of other runaways, children Intiants that don't like to be forced to work to build seemingly magic items. You then defeated the female partner of the designer, actually truly defeated, and then went to see the Intient Children's Village, and they cheered for you ridding them of their overlords, although the designer is not quite accounted for. You then went down below, met up with Galahad on the way, who seemed to be a Many Things Incorporated employee who designs prototype items, and he was concerned about the prototype item falling into the hands of their main production facility and getting distributed widely, seemingly throughout the multiverse. So you tentatively agreed, after much toing and froing, to go with him. He turned out to be looking for something called Maldini's Silver Pack, which you discovered in the basement below this Intient child workshop village. Once you discovered it, you had an altercation with Galahad, which resulted in him fighting and then realizing the odds were against him and running away, vowing to return with more help and to subdue you, but that hasn't happened yet. You then navigated further into this basement arcane sweatshop/workshop, and you discovered a bunch of arcane liquids that you could mix together to form arcane items of your own creation, which resulted in you having a giant lobster submarine, some armor, and a cube. Is that what you guys got out of it?
Yeah. I got a staff of frost as well.
Yeah, staff of frost, lobster submarine, and what did Milksteak get?
I got cubic gate.
Yes, cubic gate. And Schmorgasborden, also in a previous room, before the arcane mixing room, found a docent, which is a floating sphere that politely offers to, give their help to any situation that they might have knowledge about. And then you proceeded further into the basement, down another level, heard a series of ripping, tearing sounds in the distance, and seemed to have discovered the children's very dank and unkempt sleeping quarters, and that is where we left off, with you guys hearing that tearing sound in the distance. What would you like to do?
Right, so what we were trying to do, right, was we wanted to find the source of the something.
The source of something?
I think we were deciding between heading towards that big nasty sound or running away from it. I think we decided to go for it.
Sorry, 1 second. I forgot to do the part where you guys drew a bunch of cards from Maldini's Silver Pack, the pack of cards that you retrieved from this basement workshop level, producing an enormous tree that burst through the ceiling of the basement. You chatted to it, learned a little bit about the surrounding area, and encountered a mimic, which pretended to be the rope that you used to climb up and down the tree. Did the tree tell you anything else of use?
It's telling us some info about like the facility, and
Oh,
there was
yeah.
one or two. There was two strong entities there. I think he said. The rest are just bitches, but kind of like, I guess, designer level power or Galahad level power.
So the tree told
Good
you
memory.
the tree
Yeah.
told you that the facility contained about 2 figures of that level of power, and the rest of them were minions. Yeah, and it also said that the soil in the basement that it erupted from was highly magically charged, and that's what caused you to go down here and investigate further, and eventually discover the room that allowed you to customize items.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, continue. You were making a decision.
Yeah. So shall we?
I think we were about to open the door, and that's where we paused.
Yeah, I think these doors here, right?
No,
Where
no,
are
no.
you?
That's the
Where are you?
quarters. It's just down there. I think this one.
Oh yeah, there's
All right.
double doors in the south of that office chamber where you checked in. What's the word? Tagged in. What's the thing where you stamp in as an employee?
Clock in.
Clock
Clocking
in.
in,
Thank you.
yeah.
You clocked in for Jim, I think, the guy that you rescued from the
Yeah.
top of the tree. Is that what happened?
Yeah, just like give him some overtime pay.
Yeah,
You know, he
nice.
deserves
That was very
It
thoughtful.
was Jim. It wasn't Jim. It was Timmy.
Oh, Timmy? It was like some
I
don't remember his name.
poor, inconsequential name, but yeah, Jim or Tim. Go on.
Yeah. I'll just let's just while we're here, chunk these doors open to see what's in here.
You kick down the door, you see some very unfortunate sleeping pallets, followed by just like, it might as well be prison cells. They're like such poor sleeping arrangements inside these little rooms all stacked side by side, and you can understand why the kids wouldn't really like being here, except for this room. This room seemed to show evidence of some plucky young intient trying to tunnel their way out. And if you make an investigation check, Asker, I think, is the one that wanted to spearhead this project.
I did do that. Oh god.
Okay,
damn
with
it.
a 9, you glance at the wall and all the stuff that's been dug out of it, and you think, it's a strange thing to do. It doesn't seem like they've made a lot of progress in terms of making a tunnel, but maybe that's not what they were trying to do. You're not sure.
I'll go inside then and have a little look around.
Okay. As you get closer, you notice that the wall dividing 2 of the cells has been broken. So the person that occupied this room and their neighbor seems to have been collaborating on this dig into the back of the cell wall project. You also notice that, make a nature check for me.
A what check?
A nature, sorry.
Nature. I thought you said an age check.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
the
you
hell
could
is
also
that?
just tell me your age, just general information. With a 6 nature check, you realize you're out of your depth, and one of the druids would probably be best placed to help you with that.
Hey, nature guys, I'm calling for.
You hear
for
a
your
small
druids.
echo. Nature guys, nature guys, nature guys.
What's going on?
Make
Are you?
going
Yeah, so something's up in here. Something's weird about why, like this tunneling stuff. What's happening? It's like soil and shit. You guys know soil.
Full of soil.
You can make a nature check,
My favorite.
both of you, or one of you can make a nature check with advantage if you intend to help Asker assess the soil.
I can try.
I make a nature check.
Holy moly, that's a weird looking check.
Yeah, why is it looking like that?
It's
I don't
cool.
know.
I mean,
Yeah, it's cool.
it's just
I like it.
bizarre. Okay. It's breaking down the information. You must have rolled terribly. Yeah, you rolled a 2 plus 4. Okay. So
Yeah.
Milksteak proceeds to just look around and seemingly pity the poor residents of this little cell that would have had to sleep in there, and he becomes overcome with empathy. Whereas Smorgasborden examines the rock a little more closely, and with a 12, you discover that there is evidence here of precious minerals, as though there might be veins of gems or silver or gold. Like the clay composition in the soil indicates that it could be quite old, this patch of soil. So maybe you could find precious materials if you dug long enough.
Yeah. Should we have a dig?
Uh,
I'm
do we
okay,
have-
actually.
Do we have an equipment to dig?
If you had
or
a
it's just
pickaxe,
like-
that would be helpful. Otherwise, you'd be dealing with substandard equipment.
No, I don't have a pickaxe, I think.
No, I don't as well.
I mean, I'm
Got a
okay with
shovel.
that. We have. I mean, if you want to give it a whack, then you should. I'm just wondering why. Just for the gems. 'Cause we have a decent amount of money.
We do.
But I mean, if you want to take a shovel, because you're also the biggest person, so maybe your athletics or
we
whatever.
can dig it as well.
Because
It won't take long.
my athletics modifier is 0, so I'm not really that.
I'm gonna have a quick dig with my shovel.
At this moment, as you start digging with the shovel, just before you start digging, you hear like a door creak open in the distance, like. Do you continue to dig?
What do you think?
Wait, no, of course not. If someone is here, I don't want.
Yeah, where did the sound came from?
It appears to be coming from. Actually, make a perception check. All of you make a perception check.
Perception.
12 for Asker.
5
I'm
having a nightmare.
Milk steak. Wow, that's a really unlucky. I'm almost blaming the new format that the rolls are appearing in because Milk Steak's rolls have been so low.
Yeah, why does it look different? It's
I
weird.
don't know, maybe it has been updated or something. I have no idea.
Sorry, Sean, you said you were struggling or just rolling poorly?
No, I'm just my mouse is just going
There you go.
crazy. It's closing things. I'm not using my mouse.
14 perception for Sean, 5 for Smorgasborden, 5 for Milksteak, and 12 for Asker. Okay. So, Smorgasborden and Asker, you're confident-ish that the sound is coming from a westerly direction, so roughly where you entered this level rather than where you are now.
Okay, real quick, I'm gonna scoot over into this room there so we can split up in case someone is coming down to look for us.
Okay, cool.
I'll go in there and then listen real intently.
Okay, you can actually, with your perception of 12, you don't hear anything further. It's almost like nothing. Did you even hear the sound before? You start to question yourself. And things settle. A minute or two passes and nothing happens.
Alright, well, I'll sneak down here then and look around the corner.
Okay, you still see nothing around that corner. You're still within the sleeping quarters.
I'll go up to these doors then and do the same thing.
Yeah, you still see nothing.
Should we just abandon it? Just carry on.
I kind of want to just. I'll go down and see if are these doors unlocked.
You gather that they are. Do you attempt to push them open?
I mean, yeah, no, I tried to. I checked the doors if they
Okay.
are.
You push them open and you see immediately in front of you a Intient and the designer standing there just about to jump you. Everybody roll initiative. And you see the designer says, "How dare you touch my stuff? I'll teach you for killing my wife." And he seems quite angry.
Oh, his wife.
Okay. I'm gonna select this.
What's with my rolls today? Is this even rolling properly?
Yeah, I mean, I would just double check all your settings just to be sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I'm just whining now. 1 second, I just update
Might be
my
playing on some sort of handicap or something.
6. I need to change my initiative to 6. Okay.
Okay. The first to react is this Intient that has a little earring dangling from one of their ears with a feather at the end of it, and they have a roguish, rakish visage. You get a distinctly pirate vibe. All that's missing is like a parrot on their shoulder. And they immediately lunge forward with reckless abandon. And they don't look as composed as the designer, not even slightly. And they are going to make a greatsword attack on Asker. Oh, sorry. I need to Try this again to make it more visible. Greatsword. Okay, so 17, does that hit?
Yes.
Okay, that is 9 slashing damage and 10 psychic damage. If you have resistance to either one of those kinds of damage, then obviously let me know, but otherwise that's 19 damage.
I don't think I do, no.
Okay, and then it's going to attack you again as it says, is this right, boss? Is this what you wanted me to do? Oh, with an 8, he seems too concerned with the approval of his boss and just swings wildly over your head, underestimating your rock gnome diminutive stature. That is the end of the pirate's turn. Asker, your opportunity for rebuttal.
So is that the designer there?
Yes, the one on the left. I can give you another looky-loo if you want.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah, he does look a bit grumpy in that picture, doesn't he?
Classic
Yeah.
grumpy designer. What have you touched? What is it? What did you move out of place?
I will cast polymorph on the roguish man.
Ooh, the pirate. Okay. What kind of save do they have to make?
Oh, nice.
He's 16 wisdom. I was thinking he's probably the least likely to.
Ooh, with a 13,
Yeah.
they fail. So what shape do they take?
It's a little ducky.
A duck, right? Let me see if that exists in the current... Oh, I'm sorry, there isn't. So I'll just have to improvise. So there's no actual D&D duck. So I'm going to remove it and then put a little square there so I remember. So there, the maroon rectangle is the duck. And I like to think it makes a sound as it turns into a duck. And
Yeah, I like to imagine the same thing.
it has 1 HP, so be aware of that. And it has an AC of 5 and a movement of 10 feet. So it's not overly competent, but we'll see. Is that the end of Asker's turn?
I mean, I can do a little dash now, can't I?
You can do regular movement, yes.
Well, a dash. How far can I go?
Well,
I can't
your
remember
movement
how-
speed, what is your normal movement speed?
Oh, because I was thinking if it's like an extra action, if I couldn't.
No, your
I guess
movement
it's
your
just-
movement is always like its own separate its
I
own
see.
separate
Okay,
thing
so-
that you can do each turn.
25.
Yeah, so you can move
so
5
let's see.
squares.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll just move over here then.
But the duck does get an attack of opportunity on you, so we'll see how that works. The duck is going to strike wildly at you in revenge. With a 13, they do not hit. So you just see them go whack, whack, whack in frustration and achieve nothing.
Lovely.
Whack, whack.
Oh, it can't. The creature is limited in the actions it can perform by the nature of its new form. So it can't speak, cast spells, or take any other action that requires hands of speech. Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's true. It definitely can't cast spells, but it can try to beak you. It just was not successful in its beaking.
Of course. And so the moment the hit points goes to 0, it reverts back to its normal form.
Yeah.
But any excess damage. I just thought so the other guys know. So if we can avoid hurting the duck,
Yes. Yeah.
so we can just focus on Galahad. So we don't do any AOE stuff and then
The designer,
no.
not Galahad.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Did you say I was just reading about my erupting Earth? What did you? Oh, that's probably not what you want me to do. I just caught the end of that, and it's like, don't do stuff like that. Why don't we want to hurt the duck?
Yeah. Because then he goes back to normal.
I want this
so that's
conversation
not
to
his-
take place because you're 10 rooms away. I want you to yell a little bit. Don't hurt the duck!
But why? Won't the duck die when he die completely if we kill the duck?
No, he goes back to normal. But any excess damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I'm glad
Okay.
we're having this conversation several times.
there you go. Is that the end of your turn, Asker?
It is correct.
Smorgasbord's turn. You've just had a yelled duck conversation.
Which has changed my turn entirely. Actually, wait a second. What's the 20-foot radius? If I did it here, The duck is the red square, right?
You'll also have to assume a lot of this because all you heard from Asker
You're
is he
like
said,
double-
the baddies, they're here, and one of them's a duck. Don't hurt that duck one. So you probably have to go and find out what's going on.
Yeah, so I can't attack from here because he's not in my line of sight. Is that right?
Yes,
I can't
you're in
see
a
anything.
tiny room, so you need to use
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
movement to get somewhere
Okay.
helpful.
Okay, so I will go here.
That's probably more than your 30 feet of movement, but if you use your action to dash, you could get there and even into the next
Right.
room if you
10,
wanted to.
15, 20, 30. 30 is about there. Can I see from here?
No, where were you above Milksteak or south of him?
I think I was here.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There is where you could get with 30 feet. That one there.
Here.
I'll show you.
Oh, you can go
There.
diagonally. Oh, okay.
Yeah, diagonally is still one square.
Okay.
If you want to use your
I see him
action,
from
you can
here?
move further. You can see nothing because the doors are closed and you're in a corridor.
Okay.
But you can see Asker
I'm
looking
just
out of
gonna-
breath after running away.
Oh, actually, sorry to interrupt here. So I didn't realize I could move diagonally. So if I was standing here and I can move 5 squares, then I could have gone here, right?
Yes, that is accurate.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I change this now? I didn't realize.
Yeah, that's
so-
fine. You can end up there. It affects nothing.
Cool.
I think I'm just going to stay there. Just going to wait.
Well, otherwise you're using your action for nothing. So that's fine if you want to just take your time, but I'm letting you know within your action economy of resources, you haven't used your action yet in inverted commas. So you could prepare a spell like buff Asker, you could heal yourself, that sort of thing.
Okay. Does anyone need healing?
Could you be on Overwatch like in XCOM?
Oh, you
Is
can
that a
also
thing?
hold your action. So if you want to try, like in the Overwatch style, you could point your magical fingers at the door at the end of the corridor that Asker just came through and hold the action to attack any baddies that come through it. And then if that happens, then you suddenly jump through the initiative order.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Joe, do you need to cure wounds? You've just been attacked, haven't you?
I don't know if I'd call it.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, he has been, yeah.
I have 13 health left, so I'm glad that he missed the second sword swipe, or he would have just cut me down straight away.
I feel like you should have more health.
I have 34.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
This is decent amount for a little rock gnome, but if someone runs up and does 19 damage, then
Okay, I'm going to cure your wounds.
hooray! Wow, thank you.
Ooh, 16 healing as
You're welcome.
as Schmoggsborden
Boom.
reaches out his magical druid hands. Is that the end of Schmoggsborden's turn?
Yeah.
As you guys stand side by side, shoulder to shoulder in the corridor, bravely running away.
Brothers in arms.
Next up is the designer's turn.
Bravely bold Sir Robin.
Yeah. You hear the designer say, "You will pay for disrupting my workshop. Where are you?" And he's going to try to step through. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Your wife died like a bitch.
Make a intimidation check. Ooh, with a 20, you see the designer say, "That's uncalled for." He seems very upset. He is going to use his action to dash and get up right in your grills. And he'll say, now we're nice and close to each other. And his breath smells terrible. It's the end of the designer's turn. Milksteak's turn.
Okay.
What would happen, just a question now, if, say, Arunas turns into a bear or a snake, and then he goes up and eats the duck?
It would, I mean, if he did it non-damagedly, then there'd be a duck in a stomach. but that'd be pretty tricky to do. But if he managed to do even 1 damage, then it would suddenly become the normal-sized creature inside the snake, and probably do damage to the snake, and then probably kill the snake.
So it would be like that Ant-Man and Thanos theory then.
A little was the idea that he would shrink down and go inside him and then get big.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, possibly.
You just jump in and crawl into his ear and then become big again and just blow his head off.
It's a good plan.
But I mean, that's not how physics work, obviously, because when he expands, he would just inside of the brain, because the density of something that's more. So it doesn't hold up science-wise, but if this is magic, I was just wondering.
We shall see. I'd love to see it tested. Milksteak,
I would love it.
you would what? Sorry?
No, I would love for everyone else to do that later. Let's focus on designer first.
Okay. So I'm just thinking what best works against those kind of guys, and we all know that 8 panthers might be a bit too much this time.
Maybe just 14 panthers.
Which one was it?
It would be a joy to have 8 panthers in such a small space.
Okay, so where was it? Sorry, guys. I'm gonna summon 2 tigers.
Ooh. Do you want me to get the icon for you?
Yeah, somewhere.
Just regular tigers?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't want to summon them behind them.
Oh, wow.
Well, actually, no. Actually, can. So, how many feet I can go? I can go how much my character walks? 25. So I should be able to walk 5 cubes? No.
Yeah, five squares. Yeah.
So,
You can make it to like
3,
here.
4, 5. So if I'm coming here, and I'll summon 2 tigers just behind his back.
Okay.
They're gonna need to roll the initiative now.
Oh, your spell says they roll initiative?
Yeah. They separate entity.
Okay, cool.
I mean, you can have it as a 1, so it's gonna be easier. Or
You summon these 2 tigers. They emerge from the black void that you summoned behind the designer, and they go, "Rawr." Is that the end of your turn? Do they do anything? And they wait until their turn, right?
so they're gonna need to wait for their turn.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna turn myself into something slightly bigger, and I think it's gonna be a something. Where was it? Giant constrictor snake. That's what I'm gonna become.
Okay, I think I
I'm
have
a snake
that
again.
already. It's gonna be. Oh, that's not what I want. Wait for it. I'll get it. There it is. They're pretty big, so you're gonna take up most of the corridor. Do you have the stats for the giant constrictor snake?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I do.
Great. I will. Yeah, you take up more space than even the tigers, and that is the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Okay. You see the pirate/ducky is going to walk through and bump into the tiger and try to attack the tiger as it tries to follow and continue with its scheme. With an 18, it manages to hit the tiger, doing 3 damage to the tiger as it bites down on the tiger's claw. And the tiger goes "Rawr," and seems to be very angry at the ducky. That is the end of the ducky's turn, and you guys are all crowded in this one like dormitory corridor, and that is the tiger's turn. What do you presumably command the tigers to do?
So the tiger. So ideally, we would need David Attenborough to narrate this fight, but okay. So what we're gonna be doing? We're gonna.
I feel like you should be doing your best, David Attenborough.
No.
I'll do it, but I need to know what they're doing first.
Okay, so they simply just gonna try to bite his neck.
Okay. They're
No.
flanking him, so they get advantage. I will say... The first tiger leans forward as though it's going to rip the head off of this creature. But with a 19, it hits for 7 piercing damage.
I'd love to hear David Attenborough saying that.
7
With a
piercing
14.
damage. Yeah, 7. As the fangs sink deeply into his scapula, and then the next one misses with only a 16 to hit. So, actually, they roll with advantage. So click again. With an 18, the other tiger actually hits, doing 13 piercing damage. Wow! And you see the designer start to take stock of their situation and think, "This is. I mean, I'll kill you." Is that the end? That's the end of the tiger's turn, right?
Yeah.
Asker's turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast mirror image.
Ooh.
I'll just do this so that you can you can see.
Okay, so basically, anytime someone targets you with an attack, they have to roll a d20.
Yeah.
Oh, you roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates. If you have 3, how many are you choosing to summon?
3.
3, okay. You must roll a 6 or higher to change the attack's target to a duplicate. So as long as you roll a 6 or higher, then it should hit someone else. With 2 duplicates. 2 duplicates. Okay, so it is 2 duplicates. You have to roll an 8 or higher. Okay, I see. So you're choosing to summon 3, so therefore 2 of them are duplicate. 3 of them are
No,
duplicates.
so I have 3 duplicates, and what would the one if they kill one, if they hit one,
Gotcha.
then there's 2, and then I need to be over an 8.
Oh, I see.
And then
I see.
over
Okay,
12.
so at the beginning you only need a 6 or better, but as they get killed, it changes. Okay.
Yeah.
A duplicate's AC is 10 plus your dexterity modifier. If an attack hits a duplicate, the duplicate is destroyed. Can be destroyed only by an attack that hits it. Oh, interesting. It ignores all other damage and effects. The spell ends when all 3 duplicates are destroyed. This is a cool spell. A creature is unaffected by the spell if it can't see, if it relies on senses other than sight. Cool. All right. You see 3 duplicates of Asker appear suddenly, all flipping you off. What is that? That's the end of your action. Would you like to do something else?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him. She screamed as I cut her head off.
Wow. I mean, he's already pretty shaken from the first thing, but he seems to be strengthening his resolve as he looks at your duplicates and says, "Oh, interesting. How would you feel about being melted down and turned into an item? I quite like that trick. What would you say to that? I'll pay you handsomely."
Say, I hope you don't run like a bitch like last time.
Oh, you'll pay, quadruple man, you'll pay. Is that the end of Asker's turn?
Yeah.
Smorgasbord.
I just want to make sure he does. I don't want him to run away again, so I'm trying to egg him on a bit.
He seems quite peeved. That's Smorgasbord's turn.
Right, I'm going to send something just so you can have a look at because I don't think I know what is going on.
If it's ice knife, I'll laugh heartily.
Wall of
I want to
ice.
I want to use a wall of ice using
Okay.
my staff of ice or whatever it's called.
As in, that's
And
one of the
it
spells
creates
that your
10
staff can cast?
Yeah, yeah. And it can do like 10
10 foot
d6
square,
cold
that's-
damage.
Sorry?
Yeah, but that's all of us in the area.
Well, we don't know. You can do it in all kinds of shapes. You can form it into a hemispherical
Yeah,
dome or a sphere.
think-
You can shape a flat surface up to 10 feet square panels. Each panel must be
Oh, so it's
contiguous.
up to 10 feet.
Sorry?
Okay. Oh, it's up to 10 feet, so
Yeah.
it's not 10
Yeah,
feet. 'Cause
that's what I'm thinking. I was
there are
going
no
to ask if I could just focus on him only and not kill us with it.
Yeah, you can just draw lines. Each line has to be 2 squares long, and you could have 1 or 10 lines. It's up to you. So you just draw with the pen tool. You can access the pen tool with the menu on the left, like Photoshop, and just tell me where you want the walls to appear.
Like there?
Where? You're not drawing anything.
Why not? I should have. Can you not see a purple thing?
Oh yeah, now I see it.
Oh.
Okay, you're going through his space. Is that the idea?
Through his face, and then across here like this. Is that
But each
possible?
one has to be 2 squares long. You've just got 1 square long, so it would technically go through the tiger space as well. Do you see what I mean?
right,
Because you've only
okay.
done each has to be 10 feet long.
It's up to 10 feet.
10 feet?
Sorry.
So it cannot be smaller than 10 feet then?
Yeah, it has to be a minimum of 10 feet. Like each, if they're wall shaped, then each flat surface is made up of up to 10 10-foot square panels.
Right.
Oh, I see. Right. You can form it into a hemisphere dome. I don't know why my brain isn't working this stuff out. It's hemisphere dome or a sphere with a radius of up to 10 feet. Okay. Do you mind if I sacrifice a tiger?
Well,
This
technically,
is
if
gonna
it goes
cause-
through their space, they just have to make a dexterity saving throw
Yeah.
to see whether they're pushed to one side of the wall. So the creature within its area is pushed to one side of the wall and must make a
They
dexterity
have
throw.
quite a high dexterity as well, so.
Okay.
And I think you decide which side of the wall they get pushed to, and they need to make a dex save. They take 10d6.
So if I create a wall across this diagonal, and hopefully it pushes him back.
Okay, so you
Does
just
that
want
make that?
you just want one 10 feet diagonal thing, basically through the tiger and through the designer.
Yeah.
Okay, which side
yeah.
do you push them? Away from you or towards you?
Away from us? Sorry, Arna.
Okay, cool. So they both need to make a dexterity saving throw. The first one is going to be this. 6.
I have no idea this is a.
The designer fails, and the tiger is going to roll also.
Should I roll for the tiger?
I got it right here. Oh,
Oh,
19. They succeed, so they take half damage. Now you can roll your 10d6 or just click that pink square. Oh, goodness. Okay, so 10d6. 28 cold
46.
damage for the designer. Wow, as you see them get incredibly just little tiny icicles form all over the ridges of the designer's face. And 18 cold... Why is it 5? Oh, I think 5 is for subsequent. Yeah, moving through the sheet of frigid air for the first time on a turn makes a constitution saving throw. Okay, so half of that is 14 to the tiger. Okay, so the tiger's going to get moved here. This one's going to get moved.
Is this a good idea? Why just doesn't think good or bad? I can't work it out.
Well, you've certainly
I'm not quite
separated
sure either.
yourself.
I feel like there's now a wall between us and the guy with Simon.
Okay, so yeah, a wall appears.
The intention was that we could still cast spells through the wall, right? We could still get to him. We could still attack him. Is that right?
No, it's 1 foot thick, so if you have a spell that needs to see them, then no. And it lasts for up to 10 minutes, or just how long you concentrate. So you can drop it anytime you want, but that's what it is at the moment.
Okay. So I basically just sent him down. That's just going to get
Vulnerable to
battered
fire, reducing a 10-foot section of wall to 0 hit points, destroys it, and leaves behind a sheet of frigid air in the space the wall occupied. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Cool. All right. That's the end of your turn, I assume?
Yeah, I'm not running away now. I've got a massive sheet of ice between us.
Yeah, you see the cold air coalesce in front of you and make that tinkling sound that ice makes when it forms, like... And that is the designer's turn. The designer is going to look confused, and it is going to... you see the designer is going to make an athletics check to see whether they can jump up to the top of this thing. Ooh, with a natural 20, they leap to the top of the icy wall, look out over it, and immediately disappear, and then reappear behind the snake, and they're gonna slash the snake just as he seems to have teleported by sight over the wall and behind you, and he's gonna slash up the snake real good. Well, we'll see.
Real good.
Okay, that's a 21 to hit the snake. Cool, so that hits. So for 10 slashing damage and 12 psychic damage to the snake.
21.
Okay, so that, yeah, that's 22. 21 hits you, but 22 is the combined damage.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Cool. Then he takes out his huge silver greatsword and slashes at the snake again. 22 hits, dealing 18 combined damage, 7 of which is psychic, and the snake is looking messed up.
So it's 22 plus how much? 18. Okay.
Yeah, and you see the designer say, "Ah, your giant snake is your weakness, of course, all along." And that is the designer's...
Just kisses him back.
Sorry. Oh, the snake hisses at him. That is Milksteak's turn.
Well, what we gonna do? We're gonna try to obviously constrict him.
Okay. How does that work? Escape DC 16. I'll just check my version of your character.
Escape DC.
So you have to hit with it. So D20 plus 6. With an 11, you miss horribly as you try to constrict the designer, and he quickly wriggles his live body out of your coils and says, "Ha ha ha! You're far too fat to capture me, Snake Man." And he seems to be really enjoying himself after all of the wife jokes. And I think that's your action as a snake. Is there anything else you would like to do, like hiss in an insulting manner?
No. I'll just communicate with my tigers.
Okay, what do you communicate?
I'll climb the wall.
You're going to tell the tigers to try and climb the wall. Okay. Next up is the ducky's turn. The ducky is going to try to attack again. And this time it succeeds with a natural 20. This duck is just digging its tiny little webbed feet and flat bill into this one paw of this one tiger, and it's just bleeding profusely. And the tiger looks miffed. So that is going to be 2 damage to the tiger. Critical 2 damage as the duck says, "Whack, whack, whack," as if to say through the distance on the other side of the ice wall, "Take that, tiger." And that's the end of the ducky's turn. So that's going to be...
This is a really strange kind of fight.
Tiger's turn. You've told them to try to climb the wall. That is going to be an athletics check, so strength. With a 22, this tiger easily leaps over the wall, landing on the other side. The other one is going to try. With a 15, this one only just makes it to the top, and it looks like it's going to take them another turn to get over. And it looks like it's hanging there like Bagheera from the Jungle Book, scrabbling harmlessly. And that is the end of the tiger's turn. I assume Aska's turn.
So they cannot attack anymore.
Well, I mean, the one on the other side could try, but it would have to get through you guys and the snake.
I mean, it has a pounce ability.
Oh, yeah. Let's see how that works. 20 feet.
For 20 feet.
I say because you guys are allies. Yeah, I suppose there's no reason why it couldn't. It was just movement. So it's used about 10, 20 feet of movement so far. It has 40 feet in total. So that means 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, it could technically get there. Okay. So that means it's moved the necessary pounce distance. So it's going to try and attack. And then hits with its claw. Oh, that's your claw? That's just a random save.
No, that's a pounce.
Yeah,
so
but it has to do a claw attack. It has to hit with the claw attack in order to do the pounce.
If the tiger moves at least 20 feet straight forward, creature hits. Oh, yeah, I need to...
Do you want me to roll it for you? Oh,
yeah.
You got it. 18. That is going to hit. Just nice. So dealing 4 slashing damage with its claw. He needs to make a saving throw. As the slash takes him across the cheek and he says, "Ah, your overgrown kittens are so irritating." And he needs to make a strength save. With a 5, he fails, so I assume that means he's knocked prone?
He should be... fall down on the floor.
Yeah, he's knocked prone. The tiger can make 1 bite attack as a bonus action. So you can roll the bite attack as the designer is knocked prone. 24 hits for 11 piercing damage. You see the designer...
Who's annoying now, bitch?
...on the ground, like holding up his hands defensively, saying, Oh, this cat is disgusting. I take back what I said. Is that the end of the tiger's turn?
Yes.
Cool.
That's what your wife said.
Ask us then.
Okay, so I'm gonna, because I can run past this enormous.
Because you guys are
beast
allies,
here.
yes, you can.
So let's see. Can I? 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can walk up here, right? That's 5.
Yeah, that looks right.
Well, I'm kind of guessing a little bit because I can barely see the thingy. But yeah, okay. So let's say here then. All right.
Well,
then...
you would have to walk past the designer to get there, so he would get an attack of opportunity on you. Unless you stayed here next to him, then you wouldn't.
Isn't he on the floor?
Yeah, one of the prone doesn't prevent you from taking opportunity attacks. It just means you're on the ground. Like, you can still sword someone if you're on the ground.
Right. And
oh, actually,
so
they would have disadvantage to hit you because they're prone. So they can take an opportunity attack. It's just less likely to hit you.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll go over here then, and he can get his attack of opportunity.
Okay, let's see.
Because there's me and my duplicates anyway.
Oh, true. Yeah, all kinds of things protecting you. So that's a 10 and a natural 1 with the 10. So no, he misses horribly and seems to like sprain his wrist and say, "Oh, that's a heavy sword. Oh, I forgot about that." Okay, you're.
Did he get?
What's up?
Did he get an attack of opportunity because you walked past him?
Yeah, if you go into someone's melee range, however big that is, 5 feet, 10 feet, and then out of it again, then you get an attack of opportunity if they choose to take it.
Okay. Cool.
What does Asker do?
Okay, so I am gonna cast lightning bolt.
Okay. The giant snake needs to make a dexterity saving throw, as well as the designer. Just because it goes in a straight line, and there's no way to hit the designer without also hitting the snake.
All right.
With a 4, the designer fails horribly. And
Sorry, Snake. I thought that's why I positioned myself here, because I was thinking then there's nothing in between. I didn't realize you would pass through as well.
Well, I think, let me double check. If you send me the text of Lightning Bolt, let's make sure, because, I'm a GM, I'm not infallible. So give me the text. I'm pretty sure it's a straight line of 30 feet or so. 100 feet long and 5 feet wide. Yeah, it's a straight line and it's incredibly long. So there's no way to like cut it short, basically.
Okay. I see.
Cool.
I thought I had like 100 feet range or something. Oh, okay.
Yeah, its range is 100 feet, but that's also the compulsory distance.
Yeah. I didn't realize.
Cool. So that means 28 lightning damage to both the snake and the designer. How do you want the designer to die?
Oh, nice.
What? I killed him. Oh.
And also, how do you want the snake to die? Because they will both die.
I want the designer to like he's gonna like his life is gonna flash him by, and as it does, he's gonna realize that, oh shit, she never actually loved me, and then he dies.
You see the look on his face and says, he actually thinks about that, gets really sad, and you see his face rally as he grimaces, and his furrowed brow seems to encourage his mouth to say, "Thadoon, I will be with you soon." And then he goes, and he dies.
Wait. And the snake, I want the snake to have like the Mission Impossible rope, but from the rear. It's like,
yeah.
and then as it gets to the head, it's just like, and then as the kind of like a fire snake thing envelops it, and it's just, and then Arunas is just like.
He's there. You see him like, what's that guy from Jurassic Park? Jeff Goldblum style, leaning sexily on his elbow. However, the sexy milk steak / Jeff Goldblum does take 8 lightning damage as the damage for the attack carries over into your druid form.
Apologies.
That's fine.
Now at least you've all done it at one point or another.
Yes.
I was all set for a
all right, so
epic battle than that.
So if you want to tear down that wall, then we can go and like just deal like a big one-time heavy strike on him. Because if the excess damage he takes, it's better than if it's like, oh, I dealt 4 damage on a free shot. Do you know what I mean?
So yeah, now after that it's Smorgasbord's turn, and you hear Asker yelling from the distance, "Let's all gang up on the duck!"
Cool. So I'm going to remove the. I will remove the. How do you take away?
You just drop concentration. You just tell me that you stop concentrating. Oh, on the wall. However, once you stop concentrating on the wall, I should warn you that it leaves behind an icy field that causes damage when you walk through it. So basically, Submerged damage on it. Blah 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 blah. Oh, hold on. You can form it into. I just want to be really sure.
That makes perfect sense, actually.
You create
That's
a
not
wall.
necessarily
You can
a
form
bad
it
thing
into.
because Duck will still need to, not the Duck after we attack him, he's gonna need to cross that icy field to attack us. So.
I mean,
Yeah.
he might also fuck off, but he won't know that the designer is dead.
Actually, no. It only happens if you destroy the wall. I think if you just drop concentration, then it won't happen. So if you just drop concentration on it, it'll disappear and there won't be any cold air there.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. You drop concentration and the icy wall disappears.
How do I remove my shape? You're doing it.
I can get rid of it, yeah. Cool. Dropping concentration is not an action. I think it's just something you.
I was going to say it's an action.
It's like a bonus action. So what would you like to do?
Did you say not to go and fuck up the duck?
No, it's just that if he takes excess damage that you like his actual person, instead of doing like a moonbeam or a punch in the face on the duck, we might as well take this opportunity to try and deal loads of damage because he can't.
I see,
do anything.
because it
So-
carries
so
on
it-
over into his.
yeah.
Mechanically, the way
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
do it is you would go up to the duck and hold your action to attack when all of you were there. Then
That would be kind of cool.
that
and then we just
would be you all doing it at the same time. Yeah.
We do that then.
Okay, so you
And
go.
in the meantime, yeah.
You go up to the duck just there, and I'll say you hold an action to attack it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Next up is the designer, who is dead. Next up is Milksteak.
Where I am now?
Who is gone?
Who's missing?
Oh, yeah, let me get your actual icon back 1 second. There is Milksteak.
Okay, so
We basically do what the Ghostbusters do with all of our streams at the same time, taking down the Stay Puft Man.
so
Classic
Gonna start with-
Ghostbusters. Yep, what's up?
And so what we doing? We all holding the action or just?
Asker is yelling from the distance, "Let's all attack the duck at the same time!" So in order to do that in D&D terms, you go up to the duck and you say, "I hold my action until we're all ready."
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to the duck and I'm gonna hold the action, which is, should I say which action I'm holding
Yes,
or just a action?
technically you do have to say. I assume Sean is
Okay.
holding a spell or a hit with a sword or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold a
Blight.
that one thing.
Blight,
Yeah.
okay, nice. Cool. And what is Smorgasborden holding?
Yeah, I was going to do Blight as well.
Nice.
Is that excessive? Is this guy tough? Yeah, let's do it.
No, fuck it. Let's just fuck him up.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the end of
You're gonna have a
Milksteak.
rest.
Next up is the duck's turn. He is going to attack Smorgasborden. Whack, whack, whack. With a 6, the duck misses horribly and falls on the ground and flaps its wings to get back onto its feet. Next up is the tiger's turn.
Tigers will hold the action as well. They're gonna hold the bites.
Okay, I'm going to move this tiger over to the other side because it makes it easier. And we'll move that one over there. Cool. They're going to hold an attack also. Cool. Next up is Asker.
So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can go down here so I can see him, right?
That is accurate. You can see a small yellow duck in the ground of the corridor.
It's about to get fucked up.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna enjoy this at all. I'm gonna hold my action. Oh, or so if everyone is holding their action now, if I just attack, can everyone else attack at the same time now then?
Yeah,
Is
basically,
that-
because you're the last person to be ready. When you arrive,
Yeah.
you all release your actions. So let's just have Asker go first because he was the last to get there.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna, because I'm running out of spell slots, so I'm just gonna go with a level 2 magic missile, which I always need to read this. I'm sorry, special 2 or higher. 1, so that is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god.
Okay, so 2 damage, 2 damage,
So
2 damage,
11.
5. So 2, 4, 6, 11 force damage in total because you release 4 bolts. As this duck is pummeled with force bolts, it immediately becomes the pirate-looking Intient, and you hear it like expel air as if it's been winded as all the force bolts pummel it in the gut. And next up to hold their action is Schmorgsborden. What would you like to do?
So I rolled my blight earlier.
Oh, you did. DC 14 Constitution saving throw. So with Blight, you just release the spell and it has to make a save against it, right? Is that what the text says?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. It rolls a 19, so it saves.
Ooh.
So then it takes half damage, I assume?
Yeah.
15 necrotic damage as you release this beam of black energy and watch the skin of this pirate-looking creature crackle and age in front of you, although it's only half of its body. But he looks aghast at his rapidly aging skin and says, "My beautiful, beautiful skin!" And that is Milksteak's turn.
Yeah, I already rolled it as well. He needs to do the same save
Oh, yes, that is true.
or take 49 damage.
He makes
49,
the
that's
save
far.
again, so he is going to take 24 damage. How do you want
Yeah.
him to die?
Yeah.
Just like Benjamin Button.
Okay, he rapidly becomes an old, crinkled man and recedes into a kind of fetus-looking old thing, and then just becomes a black hole and goes and disappears.
Yep. Nice. Good job, guys.
That was weird, but great. All right, I definitely didn't need those the mirror images, but it's kind of a cool spell, right? I felt like
That's cool stuff.
I always take too much damage. I needed some defensive spells. There's no point getting another attack spell, so I figured that would be kind of a cool utility spell.
It's a great spell, but I think you'd already used Polymorph, which had put you guys in a commanding position.
Yeah, I just felt like if I've been taunting him, he might just run up and start swinging at me, and 2 swings at me, and I'm probably dead.
It was
So I
quite
felt like,
close.
yeah, no, I didn't want to take chances.
Nice.
I thought the designer would hang around a lot longer as well and be more
Yeah, I get. Was he still?
be stronger.
He must have been still been damaged by last fight or something, because he didn't take that much damage at all.
Well, you also get the sense that all the Intians you've seen, although they were very impressive with their kung fu when the Pentadrones raided the outpost and stuff, they're quite lithe. They're not very substantial. They're more like fast and strong, but they're not very hearty.
Definitely not. Right, I'll go and check his body then, see if there's any cool loot.
Okay.
That he left
Make an
behind.
investigation check. Oh, with a 7. You find
fuck me.
the obvious stuff, an enormous silver greatsword, and you notice that it has like literal precious silver coating the outside of it. And your arcane knowledge tickles the back of your memory with stories you've heard of silver being used to kill werewolves more effectively and vampires and all kinds of things, and just the fairy tale child in you gets a little excited.
Here, can anyone use a big ass sword? Can you, Sean?
I think so.
You'd have to be
How do you
proficient
find
with
out?
martial weapons, which is bottom left of your character sheet.
Weapons, right?
No.
If it doesn't say
Right.
martial
Okay.
weapons,
Go on.
then no.
Anyone want
No.
it? I don't really want it.
I mean,
No.
can we take it on a backpack, or is it too big?
It
Probably
could
too
be
big.
like strapped to the outside of a backpack and carried like with relative competence.
I'm alright. You can take it if you
Or
want.
not bother? I mean, you're not gonna sell it.
Bother.
We haven't encountered any kind of merchants on our travels in a while now.
The only reason to take it is if it's really distinctively his and we can go around as like a evidence of defeating him.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna cut his head off.
It's lighter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I want to. It might come in handy, I mean.
What's
Yeah.
the duration on your tiger summoning Milksteak? And also, you can describe, if you want, how you decapitate him to take as a trophy, if that's your next course of action, Asker.
Yeah, I'll take his sword actually.
Okay, you have a silver greatsword. It should
and
be
then I'll-
a D&D item.
A silver greatsword. Yeah, I'll just use it to chop it off.
Okay, you can either make a medicine or attack. No, strength or medicine. Those are your checks. Athletics or strength. Sorry, athletics or medicine. Wow, that's a lot of consideration.
Oh, I rolled.
Oh, you did. With a natural 1, you think that the base of the neck has got to be the weak part, right? And you slash down and hit his like sternum, and it just bounces off, and there's this huge cut, but he's no more decapitated than he was at the beginning. And you get that ringing feeling through your arms, like when you hit a metal baseball bat against a tree, and it just reverberates through your body.
Can I try again?
Yes, but you do it with disadvantage now because you've got jelly arms. Okay, with a 7, you manage to begin hacking through like the larynx area, so it's a little bit easier to get through, but you're starting to sweat already. It's going to take you like 30 minutes.
How hard can it be? What do I need to roll to chop a head off a person who's not even
Well,
alive?
I mean, if you've ever cut a body into pieces before, it can be tricky. It's just going to take you a little while.
I mean, I have cut a body into pieces.
I know.
I cut the head off his wife a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, I think you must have been in more tip-top shape then, because this has taken you a little while. But you're like halfway through. The rest of you guys can just do your own thing while he slowly just gets more blood spattered across the front of his body.
That's good though, because when Galahad returns, I can be all blooded and just hold the other guy's head off and throw it at him and say, "Fucking come at me, bro."
Yeah.
That would be good. I want that.
Classic situation.
All right, I'll keep chopping, and you guys can go do your bits.
You're also,
so
I should remind you, you're a tiny rock gnome holding a sword that's twice your height, so it's kind of awkward to wield.
Yeah, I'll just take my knife instead. I'll use my knife.
It clatters to the ground, and you just get more precise and start soaring. What was that, Milkshake?
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, tigers should already disappear.
Oh, okay, they're gone because it lasts for like a minute or something.
And I'm gonna check the body of that pirate as well in case he has anything.
Make an investigation check.
Yes.
Oh wow, with a 22, your first good roll of the evening, you discover that he has a money pouch with 25 gold pieces inside of it, and he has a larger pouch made of leather and very fine embroidery along the outside of it. And it appears to be quite big, and it has a certain warmth to it when you hold it in your hands. And it's like a big
I'll take it.
leather pouch, yeah. If you spend a little time with it, you might be able to understand it better, but at the moment it just seems like a cool bag to you.
Yeah, nice pouch.
I think it sounds like it's got testicles inside.
Yeah, nice pouch, bro.
I mean, someone should probably give the designer another shot before I hack him to pieces, because my investigation of that body was poor.
Yeah, okay. I'll investigate the body. I'll stop you just as you're about to take your final hack.
Okay, make an investigation
Whoa,
check.
wait.
Okay, with a 7, you are a little disgusted by the blood and partially cut off head, and you kind of do a pretty shitty job of checking his pockets and kind of averting your gaze because you don't want to vomit, and you don't find anything helpful. But by this point, you do have a head, Asker, so that's something to be excited about.
All right, so I'll take some. I don't know. Is he wearing a belt?
Yes, a sword belt.
Yeah, I'll take the belt and I'll sort of make a little, so I can carry the head on sort of on my hip.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
as a tinkerer, you do that easily. You now have a head dangling from your belt.
Sick. Okay. All right. So shall we proceed down to here? Do you guys need a rest, or should we just?
I desperately need the rest, yeah.
Okay. Should we?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take first watch. Let's bar this door.
If you want to bar the door, you can make like a survival check. Okay, with a 9, you find some wooden pallets in one of the dormitories back further into the corridor, and you drag them over to the door and just prop them up against the door and think, that'll make it slightly more difficult to open.
If nothing else, we'll hear them when they open it.
Yeah, and when Milksteak comes over to join you, he props up the wooden pallets against the door in a more angled 45, and he thinks to himself, yeah, that should hold.
Because I'm thinking if Galahad... Okay, so whilst those guys can go and rest, can I spend my... can you do something while you're on watch, or do I need to be like...
It depends what you're doing.
Because what I was going to do is I wanted to sort of take some more maybe rope and stuff, whatever I can find around these rooms, and see if I can make a little thing so I can take his hands and hold him up. So he like here on the other side of the door, the body is kind of strung up.
Yeah, you can definitely do that while you're taking watch in a kind of Mad Max, don't come in here, there's savages kind of way.
Because I kept thinking, again with the morale, maybe they kick down the door and be like, yeah, we're gonna. What the fuck?
Yeah, totally. I'd say given a sufficient amount of time, which you have on watch, yeah, you do that. That he's strung up in a very ominous fashion.
Great.
You can make a perception check for your watch. Is this a short rest or a long rest?
It's a long rest.
Okay, because you guys just woke up like a couple hours ago, so you'd be struggling to get much sleeping done. Like, the human body, or even the elf, halfling, half-orc body just won't sleep if you've been up for 2 hours.
Do we still get, hit points and spell slots back? Or is that, not how it works?
I mean, yeah, you could take a short rest, but a long rest just, your body won't let you.
What do you get back with a short rest?
You can roll your hit dice and get back most of your, hit points, but your spell slots won't come back until... You reach the end of the day.
I may as well stay on watch. I've got all my hit points still, so I may as well stay on watch.
Do we? I mean, I'm at almost full health as well. So a short rest. We don't really need anyone at watch, though, right?
Well,
right. Sorry.
Yeah, technically during a short rest, you're all kind of watching. What was that? Milkshake.
Milkshake. No, I said I definitely need a short rest.
Okay. Do you know how to roll your hit dice?
Yeah.
Cool. With a 4, Asker, you're mostly distracted by your stringing up intimidation project and are not really paying attention. As in with a 4 perception. Cool. And also, as you're taking a short rest and rolling your hit dice, Milksteak, you discover that suddenly you do understand the leather embroidered bag that you retrieved from the pirate Intiant's belt. It is a bag of holding.
Oh, nice. Finally. Kept hearing about it. Can I fit that greatsword in a bag of holding?
Easily.
Nice.
I feel like maybe he has something good too. Just no one has really bothered properly checking. We just mutilated, or I mutilated his body, and then we fucked it up.
Fine, I'll check it as well.
Okay, make an investigation check. Oh yeah, with a 20,
there we go.
Find a pocket on the inside of his little robes, and it's semi-concealed, and inside is quite a large diamond. The diamond is worth roughly 100 gold pieces, and you would all know that diamonds are sought after by arcane and divine practitioners for their use in casting certain spells.
Nice.
Sweet.
So you can add to your inventory diamond worth 100 gold pieces.
There you go. That's a prize, Cernus, for checking him after all. Checking the body. All right. Well, I feel like since we're not doing a long rest, the whole barricading and body stringing is...
You just have to push the body aside like a really inconvenient curtain in the middle of a doorway.
Nice. So, how did the other guy die? You said he disappeared into a black hole.
Yeah, that was the description. So he Benjamin buttoned into like a singularity and then disappeared.
Right. So there is no body that we can fuck up.
Well, there was stuff,
Just
but
clothes.
his
just
his
his stuff.
organic matter disappeared, but his bag of holding and his clothes remained.
All right. Well, shall we press on then? Now when we have our health back,
Yeah.
just leave this door open so that the strung up body is clearly visible for anyone following us down here.
That's the key.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that matters.
Okay, so walk me through it. What, do you just go into that room that you suddenly came upon the designer in?
Sure.
Yeah, I think so, no?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
You walk
Looks
in.
like a kitchen.
You walk
Yeah, it
in,
looks
and
like-
it is by no means a kitchen.
Ooh.
It seems to be a weird laboratory. You see two tall, wide cylinders made of glass on the eastern wall, and then two coffin-looking wooden boxes attached to a machine and cables and copper coils on either side of the cylinders on the east wall. You then see a generator on the north wall that seems to be attached to this series of apparatus. A bunch of jars in the center on a table appearing to contain clay, soil, water, elements from nature, and a couple of other powders you don't recognize. Two double doors, one set of double doors on the southern wall, another smaller door in the southeastern corner, a staircase in the southwestern corner, and two more doors on the western wall.
Shall we perform any experiments?
Yeah, let's. Can I just walk around using my tinker skills to sort of try and figure out what all this is and how it works?
Yeah, I'll say give me, just to make it nice and simple, give me an investigation check with advantage rather than doing like a tinker's check, which is typically for making things. Just do an investigation check with advantage. Oh yeah, with an 18, you are confident, and with your arcane knowledge helping you in this, those weird clay robot metal people that you presume they were made of clay because they weren't entirely metal. They were just wearing metal armor. You know those two things that you fought on the way in here?
Yeah.
You see components of them in the jars, and you look at the coffin things, and they're roughly the same size as them. So you get the sense that this might be where they were made.
Maybe we can make one and have us, flee too.
Yeah, I'm afraid that they will turn on us.
Maybe. Okay. Should we destroy it?
Yeah. Let's fuck it up.
Yeah, right. Let's
Is
try
it-
it.
Can you use your tinkering skills to figure out how to sabotage this whole?
Oh yeah. Can I
With an 18, you realize that the points of vulnerability are probably the ingredients on the tables. You know, they're required to make the machine work, and if you don't have them, you're kind of screwed. But also the copper coil and the generator that the coil is connected to is obviously, in your mind, having worked in an arcane power station, that is the power source. So without that, the machine isn't going to function. So if you screw around with that, it's more fragile than the rest of it. That would render it inoperative.
Yeah, let's just do that. Let's just pull out wires and stuff. We just want to make sure they don't quickly, because we don't know how long it takes to whip up one of those. We don't want them to come down here and just make a few.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just pull a bunch of wires
Okay.
from the vulnerable areas.
You hear a couple of sizzling, sparking noises, but you seem to have deactivated it and you don't appear to be damaged.
Sweet. Can we check these doors here?
You have not.
No, should we? I'm just putting the question out there to the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you-
There's one single door. There's a single door here, right?
Yeah, that's two, right?
Yeah.
If you guys open that one, I can open this one.
Okay,
maybe? We
let's
can
do the double
Yeah.
doors first. You push open the double doors, and inside you see a study filled with books along every wall, and a desk in the center, and a series of items on the desk like scrolls of parchment, quills, an abacus. It seems to be a little man cave / study. What would you like to do?
just
Look
try
for
to
loot.
investigate if we can figure something out. Is there any clues
Yeah.
or?
Well, I mean,
or
maybe.
loot?
Make an investigation check, both of you.
Sick.
Oh, wow. With a 23 from Milksteak, and I assume Smorgasborden is not investigating? Oh, 3 investigation.
Ooh, right.
Smorgasborden just thinks to himself, this would be a nice place to get away from it all, you know? Just kind of de-stress. And Milksteak, you notice that a name seems to come up a lot on the spines of the books around you on these bookshelves. And it rings a bell because that's what the designer said just as he died. He said, Thadoon, I'll be with you soon. And you see the name Thadoon, like Thadoon, in a bunch of the titles on these books on the wall. And you take one down and flip through it. And you read snatches of information that you understand. Some of it's in common, some of it's in a language you don't recognize. But the bits in common say, it pleases him for our items to be distributed widely. We must increase production. The more that is released, the more chaos can be sown.
More
I knew
chaos.
these Entians were up to no good.
So I can also speak Druidic and Orc. Does that help?
It is neither of those languages.
Alright.
But good looking out.
I
Yeah.
speak Common, Draconic, and Gnomish. I can have a look and see is any of those.
If they call you over, I will firstly reveal that you opened the door, and inside of it is a dark
that's right.
room. If you go further in, I can show you more.
Can I stealthily sneak in? So in case there's a big ass dude here, I'm not just like.
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
There is another door there as well, no?
Yes, there appears to be.
My rolling is fucking horrendous.
With a 7, you stomp your way into this room, and it appears to just have busts of strange Intient heads on the wall that are old, very old Intient heads, just like the guy you met in the facility that told you to stay over and he'll find out from his bosses what he needs to do. Similarly, old Intient's heads adorn the walls of this corridor leading to double doors. And if Milksteak at this point wants to call out for your assistance, then you can give your advice on the language.
Do you want to come and help? You know, do you want to do your thing?
It's quite quiet in here, so even though he talks quite quietly, you hear like echoing through the metal corridors. Hey, do you wanna come look at this?
How exciting!
Yeah, cool. I'll come running over.
Okay.
I'll have a look to see if it's any of those languages.
It isn't any of
Yes,
those
I'm guessing.
languages, but you can make an religion check. And I'll say, Smorgasborden, you sit in the chair and kind of spin around thinking, isn't this comfy? With a 21 religion check, Thadoon does ring a bell to you. You remember, I mean, your background is mostly of tinkering, but you're familiar with books because a lot of engineering diagrams are in books. So occasionally you would stray over to nearby bookshelves and check out some other stuff. And one of the old books about the old gods of this realm describes Thadoon as a agent of chaos, a god so destructive that the other gods just tried to put him in a corner and hoped everyone forgot about him. And yeah, he just wants things to be chaotic. He despises order, and he is said to have a cult that worships him.
Oh, it's a bit like us. You know, we are also into the whole chaos thing, apparently. Evidently.
With a 21, it also strikes you as odd, based on everything you know about Many Things Incorporated, that they were always talking to you about trying to impose order on the universe and on the multiverse, and the fact that the Pentadrones were the ones that were trying to create chaos, when in fact it seems as though it might have been the opposite. Based on how ordered the clockwork place was that you went to raid, it's literally clockwork, and it seems strange that they would be in charge of chaos.
I feel like we should join with them. The clockwork people, you know, and then we fuck up the engines. That's my vote. They get my vote.
How do we find them?
Um, I don't know. Maybe if we can take the old guy hostage, show him a couple of decapitated heads and stuff. Maybe he's like, "Oh no, don't do that to me," and then he tells us like how to get there.
Can
Like-
my teleport us to those locations, or it cannot?
Sorry, can your what
Can
do
what?
what?
The cube, the cube gate,
Yeah.
because it says it can travel through different planes of existence.
Didn't you need to roll to determine which planes it will take you to?
Oh, okay.
Or
I'll do some
hold
reading
on,
about it.
let me check.
My docent reads knows common, giant, and 1d4 additional languages chosen by the DM.
Okay, you can roll a d4 for me, and then actually, no, you're right, Aranas. It does take you to a variety of different planes, the cubic gate, but you're just not sure which ones. Because they've just got the cube has a bunch of different symbols on either side. One's like a mountain, one's an hourglass, one's a triangle with a line through it. So you understand the device enough to know that it takes you to other planes, but you just don't know which ones they are. Okay, with a 4, your docent can speak 4 additional languages. Was it 1d4 additional languages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now roll a d100 to determine if any of them are the language in this book. Or yeah, in this book. Okay, with a 40, now roll a d100 2 more times. Oh, actually, no, 3 more times. 22, 25, and 63. Okay. So the first language that your docent can speak, and write this down in your notes or your extras or something like that, wherever you keep notes. And you see the docent pop up at this point as you're talking about it and say, "Oh, do you need something translated?" And
I like that he's British.
yeah.
It makes me happy.
Jolly good, master. So have you got your notes up?
Yeah.
First language is Sylvan, Sylven or something. The next language is Infernal.
Mm-hmm.
The third language is Primordial.
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth language is Grung, Grung.
Like Kurt Cobain.
That's grunge.
Nice. Cool. So that happens. Asker, you remember these things about the cult of Thadun and his figure in ancient religion. Do you share this with any of... you can just say that you share it if you want.
Yeah, I shared.
Okay.
But it also makes me wonder, though, like, are these... Because Galahad didn't seem to be a big fan of these guys, and it might have been a bit of a rift, so maybe not all the Entians are necessarily Chaos worshippers, or they've been trying to dupe us the whole time. But I'm just wondering why? Why are they being so nice to us and trying to, like, that we're nobodies? Why are they making such an effort for this facade of being worship? Like, we're... So, just saying, it might not be all of them. It might be like a little cult within their organization. So I'm just saying this because in case they show up and we're like, okay, we can't kill all of these, maybe we can sort of deceive them by saying we found just the splinter cell of evil chaos cultists in your midst, and so we fucked them up for you, kind of thing. And Galahad attacked us first, so screw that guy, really. I'm just saying, I just throw that out there in case we need to do some deception later on. Because apparently deception seems to be my thing. Also, I have +8 in deception, so I feel like I want to decept people as much as right.
What if it goes wrong? Then they're just like, no, we all, that's one of our guys.
Yeah, we're all
and they
well.
just
If that, then we're just gonna have to fight them, aren't we?
Fight
But
anyway,
I'm
I
just
suppose,
thinking if we can avoid it, then it would be sweet.
Yeah.
Do we?
Okay.
So like this whole thing seems big and swanky, but do we want to check if this is just like a little
And there's some stairs as well.
maybe? Yeah, I guess that just leads back up, though, right? because these are stairs upwards, right?
Yes,
Don't
they appear to be stairs upwards.
they? Do we want to
Okay.
stay
Yeah,
down
yeah.
here? I'll go and check
Yeah,
see if this is just an ensuite or whatever this is.
As you open this strange door that seems to blend in with the bookcase around it, it does indeed turn out to be a very basic ensuite bathroom with a weird tub that has like a little roof over it, as if once you're in the tub, you want the roof to like hold the heat in.
It's weird, very weird.
seems
So
bizarre.
is this? All right, I'll use the loo then because I haven't used the toilet in I guess months. I don't know how long. How long has it been? Like since I started with you many like 2 years ago, whatever ago now. Like when I started playing with this character, what's the time frame? Like how in his world? Like what's the experience? I'm just curious.
I would say it has been 3 to 4 months.
Oh, okay. I haven't had a good shit in 3 or 4 months, but like I can just do my business because I'm guessing this is the designer's. I'm not gonna flush either because I'm a disgusting human
You
being.
open up this wooden box that seems to be a
Yeah.
concealed WC, and you do your business in there and leave it undealt with.
I mean, it's got to be done, you know. All right. Well, do we want to explore a bit here? Maybe see what's up there.
yeah. Seems like the obvious choice.
Okay.
I'm not going to open the door again because I have a bad. When I open doors, it's either bad guys or cupboards, cleaning closets, or bathrooms or whatever. So you guys go.
I'll open the door. I'll open this one.
Okay. You open the door, and inside, you see a quite decently sized library with a number of little like reading nooks and books as far as the eye can see. Double doors across the room on the eastern side, and a little staircase in the northern side, and a couple of little display tables where nice books are laid out, and it's just a lovely little library.
A staircase, you say?
Yes. It's a little like 3 stairs. I wouldn't call it a staircase. 3 stairs.
Does it lead
Look here.
Does it lead to a floor up, or is it like just like a little railing?
It leads
thing
to a little
above it?
door, like a little stone door.
Oh, okay.
This book down at the bottom looks to be kind of open and asking to be read.
Okay. Do you read it?
Yeah.
Okay. You see that it's written in a kind of very strange handwriting. It looks like it could be common. Make an intelligence check.
It's always ironic that intelligence takes me ages to find intelligence.
20 intelligence check. Okay. With a 20, you manage to decipher that this is a kind of shorthand. Like someone that has written this in a way to make it slightly harder to read, but you manage to piece it together. And it seems to read potential recruits list. And you scan down the first few pages, and then you see your name, Smorgasborden. And then you see a column beside it as though it's a balance sheet. And the column is titled Leverage. And you go across to your name and it says in debt. And at the column beside that, it says pursue recruitment. And you see a bunch of other names with similar like status indications and weird words listed under leverage, and you see Asker's name, and you see Milksteak's name in there as you just scroll through these pages of, it's like an accountancy book, but of people. And next to Asker, it says curious under leverage. Next to Milksteak's name, it says naive under leverage.
Okay, so they clearly recruited it. Like they did this on purpose, then, right? They just want people. These one-eyed jacks are just assholes.
There's one more. There's one more column at the end, and it says magic items per day estimated, and it says like 3 to 4 distributed, 6 to 8 distributed, and you just have to imagine what that means.
I guess it's the missions completed, catching things in cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
these guys are assholes. You know what? I kept thinking, were we just being really fucking dumb, running away from that place in the into the snow? Did we just mess up what could have been a wonderful adventure with these people and and we
Maybe what if?
just farting around? However, yeah, I mean, I'm more and more happy that our instincts are good. You know what I mean, guys? Like we know when shit's amiss. We don't.
You mean the people we put in the barrel? Is that the place you're talking about?
Exactly. The
Yeah.
sauerkraut and all that. Like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm proud of us, guys. We've been doing the right thing all along. All right, so let's find the old guy and cut his head off as well. I think. I'll I'll sneak up here and see if I can. Like you said, it was a stone door.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
Should I try to open it just to see what's up there at least before we continue? I don't. In video games, I always do this because I don't like bad guys to come from here, kind of thing. I don't want to backstab them.
I
I'll
mean,
check it.
this whole tunnel, it might lead all the way back to where we came from originally started as well.
Let's see. Where are other doors that we've missed? I think we've gone through everything, haven't we?
No, so there's a door next to me here. Looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
outside the door. And then one
Yeah.
on the top.
Okay, fuck it. Let's not do the stone door yet. Let's go through the regular door and see what else is on this.
I think the stone door first, the top one.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Just
yeah,
in
yeah.
case they're not gonna flank us by.
Yeah, no flanking, please. I'll
Okay.
try it. I'll try the door.
Okay, this room, just to give you a sense of the contrast, this room that you're in smells of paper and old books, and it's just redolent with that aroma that you've all become familiar with, even with your small interactions with books and literature. But as you push this very well-engineered stone door, it seems to swing lighter than it should be, given it's a big stone slab. And beyond it, you see a very well constructed little mine shaft that hooks to the left about 20 feet down.
Oh, okay. See where it's going to. Let's investigate completely.
Yeah,
Whatever. Gonna connect to that, yeah.
Whatever this tunneling thing that we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay, you see as you turn left that there is a little mine shaft, and along the ground there seems to be a number of precious gems, like a handful of sapphires and emeralds just loosely collected on the ground. A couple of pickaxes lying around as though this were a place where the Intians were trying to extract precious gems. And the pickaxes that you see on the ground look way smaller than they should.
So for children, are they a good match for me?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a pretty good, comfortable pickaxe for you to use, yeah. As would the
Hey,
half-fling milkstick.
I'll pick one up then, because having a pickaxe feels like one of those things that is good to have.
That's a D&D item, so you can add that to your inventory, pickaxe.
Sweet. That item.
Do the same.
Pickaxe. Is that two words? Pickaxe? No?
I'm not sure. I would
No?
try it both. It should
I
come
think
up.
it's one word.
Oh, it's just pick.
Oh, there you go.
Gear, adventure, gear.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, big miners. Yeah.
Dish.
And in this corridor, sorry, this little mine shaft, little mine area, the scent of paper is gone, and the scent of freshly broken earth and that dampness of being deep underground hits you in this little mine shaft.
I'll venture in a little bit further and see if there's anything else.
Okay, make an investigation or perception check. With a 22, you notice one diamond on the ground worth about 50 gold pieces, and you also notice a ruby. Like, you get the sense that this is a place where there's a rich vein of precious gems, and they seem to just take them as and when they need them, presumably to be used in some sort of project.
Okay. So a ruby, what's it worth? Just so I guess I can make a note.
The ruby doesn't usually need to be measured, but let's say 50 gold pieces.
50 GP and a diamond 50 GP.
That's it, yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll just pick those up. Right. And this does it end here then? Is that?
Yeah, you notice it just seems to spread out in a Y shape, and Smorgasborden has to really duck his head down to get into this little area if he chooses to follow. And it just seems to have been like such a rich area that they didn't even have to dig that far to really find a bunch of gems or some other arcane mining practices going on. But it's a very small mine.
Weird. All right.
Mm.
Okay, I'll go and join the others and let's press on.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
Okay, you join the others and you go through the other door
Yeah.
on the eastern wall. As you open this double door, it has a more like luxurious feel. You notice the ground is carpeted in green velvet, and the thing that dominates the room is a huge diagram, like a model of the... Actually, everybody make intelligence check to determine what you interpret this model to be. We've got a 16 from Asker, I assume. What was that 4 from? Is that from a previous roll?
No, I think I accidentally rolled twice.
Okay, so you rolled a 4, then a 7 from Smorgasborden, and then a 21 natural 20 from Milksteak.
Nice.
Okay, so you recognize it instantly, Milksteak, as being a very similar, but not exactly the same, as that model of planets, or maybe something similar to planets that you saw way back in the mage's hideout, the place where you found the cards. But earlier on in your exploration, you saw a model of all these different spheres rotating around each other. But this one looks different. This one has a different sphere in the center, and all the others seem to be rotating around it. And it strikes you with a natural 20 that this is a different interpretation of the same information. And you further suspect that based on the way these spheres are colored and shaped, and based on how much like travel you've seen between planes, that this could be a theory as to how the planes near this one are arranged.
Okay, that'll help with your weird gizmo.
Cube, yeah. Cubity cube. Will that help me knowing, or I need to physically be into the place?
Actually, yeah, you could, with the natural 20, I'll say you can hold up the cube and try to match the symbols. And
Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah, roll a D100 to see how similar they are, because one was made using magic liquid in a machine, and the other one, with a 69, you managed to get one of the symbols interpreted, and it seems to be a symbol for the central sphere of this model. And you would conclude, based on the way that it is arranged, that the central sphere of the model is where you are now. It just strikes you as a like, you are here sign in a supermarket, and all the other planes are around it, and you match the symbol of the triangle to that central sphere. So you've got one button figured out, which is where you are now, and you've got how many other buttons?
I think there's 2 other buttons. No?
Each keyed to a different one, so you've got 5 other buttons to figure out.
Okay.
So you've got 1 out of 6 done.
So that means in case we ever gonna need to come back to this plane, we will be able to come back with that cube.
Seems to be the case.
So what's this cube? I don't remember any of this cube stuff.
It was one of the things you made in the magic liquid room.
Oh, right, yeah. And it opens up a portal?
Yeah.
After spending some time with it, you realized that it can transport you and a number of companions to another plane according to the button that is on the side of it.
Right. Is there anything else for me who did a sweet a natural 1 on my intelligence check. Can I find something in here that I understand what it is?
Okay, well, with a natural 1 on trying to understand the model, you just find it completely boring. So you start looking at the books around the room and think, ooh, books! And you start flipping through the titles, and you realize that maybe that's going to be more interesting. So if you want to examine the books, you can make an investigation check.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, wow. With a natural 1, you think, fuck books. And then you go over instead to the only other thing in the room, which is a giant, well, not giant, 10-foot wide notice board on the eastern wall. And it shows a diagram similar to the model, and you think, ugh, model again. But the model seems to show a number of, it's drawn out on the notice board, and it's got a bunch of arrows with the word like drop point next to it. And it's pointing to a bunch of different spheres drawn out, and it just says drop point at a bunch of different places on a bunch of different spheres.
I might do an investigation of my own as well to see if I can.
What are you trying to investigate?
The books. I'm going to see if they're
Cool.
anything
Roll
I can read.
investigation check.
Well, you don't think I did a thorough check? Well, you're insulting me, sir.
Again, intelligence. Where are you?
Okay, with a 10, you settle upon a quite large book, quite close to you. And the only reason you settle upon it is because another name written on the spine seems to ring a bell based on what the designer said before he died and based on what Milksteak found in the previous room. It says Thadoon's last known location on the spine of the book. And it's not really a book, it's more of a notebook where someone seems to have, the spine is not printed in nice letters, it's written out. Like someone has just named the book that for quick reference later on. And inside the notebook, as you pick it up, before you look inside, it feels warm in your hands. Very warm. Like it's a little tiny campfire inside this book. And you flip through the pages, and you read words, little snippets that are in common. And again, it seems to change from language to language. And it says, many centuries ago, Thadoon was said to have been entombed beneath a mountain, and a series of journeys took place to try to find him or find riches within the mountain. And the notes are very disjointed. It seems to be someone speculating as well as thinking out loud. And you see after that, the next section says, if only we could get there, if only we could investigate or find out which plane it was on, we could try to find where he is and get orders directly from him rather than interpreting things from symbols. And the book starts to feel warmer and warmer in your hands as you read these, and the words almost glow and resonate at you as you read them. There's stories that strange things happen to people beneath the mountain when they try to search for him, or the mountain seems to have other significance. This is a long time ago. Maybe something happened since then. And it just trails off, and you're entranced by the mutterings of this random author.
Keep
Interesting.
hold of it, maybe?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, definitely want to keep a hold of that. It's trying to see if I can relate it to the kind of orbs in the room to see if it is it in any indication as to which plane it's referring to.
You match up a couple of sketches inside this notebook to the plane diagram, seemingly plane diagram model of spheres in front of you, but they seem to be more guesses. Maybe here, this mountain could be a likely candidate. This mountain had an elven. These are little inscriptions that you read inside the book. This mountain had an ancient elven city that's said to have left a curse. Maybe this is where he is, and it's just sort of guesswork. But it seems just like the warmest, most compelling book you've ever read, and it's you can't put it down.
So maybe don't keep it. It feels dodgy.
Make a Arcana check, Asker. based on your understanding of the arcane. With a natural 1, you just think to yourself,
3 natural ones in a row.
yeah, that's crazy, to be honest.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you think to yourself, it's probably fine. I mean, it is a bit warm in here, but even though it's not, it's quite cold in there. And yeah.
Should I do a check too?
What? Oh, you can do an Arcana check if you want to try to figure it out. Okay, with a 13, yeah, I mean, you understand the arcane more as how it expresses itself in nature, but this feels distinctly arcane to you, and especially the words, "if only we could get there." Those in particular, just like a song you can't get out of your head.
Should we take that book and just put like in the bag of stuffing?
Holding.
Bag of
Yeah.
holding?
Yeah, I think we should definitely keep it. It sounds interesting.
Because if we're gonna find that guy, I think we're gonna need to find some kind of allies. You know, if it feels like we might be a little bit out of our depth we just discovered that those guys are evil. So.
And now we're gonna go fight a god of chaos.
Which I'm sure I would be besties with him.
Yeah, I feel like I like him more than I like these noobs.
Yeah, they're just followers. They're not leaders.
Exactly. You know, like they should just go up like, dude, we should just rule together, kind of thing. And instead they're being like, where is he? And like, I don't know, like I don't like him. They should. I vote for let's go back to the main house, knock on the door, just kick it down.
And fuck them up.
I mean, they've proven, they've come at us a few times now, and you know, how many heads do they have? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I got 2.
At least 1 each. Okay, so is there anything else in this room?
You can make a perception check if you want to check the rest of the room. Milksteak. Okay, with a 6, you think to yourself, it's another library. It seems kind of library-ish.
And there is no exits here or anything.
None that you can discern other than the one you came through.
Yeah.
Do we burn it?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're done here, is what I'm saying. Like,
I think that's some sort. I think the kind of globe things are some sort of key.
Yeah. So the only thing before burning the shit down.
why don't you try and figure out the rest of the symbols?
Well, I was thinking of just taking a note of how everything is positioned here, and scribble on a paper somewhere.
Of the globe, the sort of sphere diagram.
Yeah, with all the symbols.
Yeah,
and
you
everything.
can totally write it down and add it to your inventory, like a sphere model diagram.
Yeah. Yep.
Seems to me like a bit of an Uncharted puzzle.
Yeah.
I suppose it might. Yeah, probably be good if we can figure that out.
If we kind of walk around the room and it might align.
Oh yeah.
You can tell I've literally just finished Uncharted 4.
Shoot a. Can we like shoot like an arrow on each of those balls to see if they.
Model from the underground.
And as you take a moment to reflect and sketch out this model of the spheres, Smorgasborden, you're still overtaken with thoughts of this phrase inside the journal that you read, even as you gave it up to Milksteak to put in the bag of holding. Something about you wants to go get it back and read that phrase again. And Asker, you're consumed with thoughts of vengeance upon the facility that you just left, and that is where we'll end the session. Dum dum dum. So I'm so glad that at least seemingly you've learned a little bit of secret information about this organization that you've been involved with for quite a while now.
Long time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
It's
been
been
plenty of times when we've missed out on clues or
I
an
mean,
understanding.
do you remember when we visited that Clockwork place? Even then, we started to have some doubts on
Yeah.
what are we doing.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you have any suggestions or any ideas that we should incorporate, things you want to hear more of, things you would like to hear less of, just let us know at thewronghandspodcast@gmail.com. So THEWRONGHANDSPODCAST@gmail.com.